If you study engineering, please do not do a 4+1 master's program unless you really do your homework beforehand, because you could be leaving a lot of money on the table. And here's a couple things to take into consideration. But first, if you're not familiar with the 4+1 master's programs, basically what it is 4+1. 4 years for the bachelor's degree plus 1 year for the master's degree. So it's like an accelerated timeline to do the bachelor's plus the master's degree, versus like maybe if you were to do the master's degree later on, it might take you like 2 years. That said, there's some benefits and some maybe cons that people will generally talk about when it comes to these types of programs. And here's what you got to know. Number one is that this program, like I said, is kind of like an accelerated program. You can get the master's degree potentially a little bit quicker on an accelerated timeline versus if you were to do it later. Another benefit some people might talk about is that it helps you develop a little bit more specialized skill and gain a little bit more of a technical edge. Now, that said, there's some things to consider. One thing to consider is that you're definitely probably delaying getting a full-time salary, right, and making that money. Another money thing is that some companies, when you work for them, offer benefits for like continuing education. So a company, if you were to say you worked for a company after your bachelor's degree, a year or two later, you might say, hey, I kind of want to get a master's degree. There might be a benefit as part of the benefits package of working at that company where they either like fully or partially help pay for that master's degree. Another thing to take into account is if you're not fully, if you're not necessarily getting job offers at the end of your bachelor's degree, or you struggle to get internships, getting the master's degree isn't necessarily going to instantly guarantee you like a job. So that's another thing to take into account.